नाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So welcome back to the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu Southern Division. We have been discussing since yesterday the Ashray Alamban. Day before we just started with it, with the first definition of who is a sadhaka. So the Ashray Alamban, the sadhaka here refers to a Bhava Bhakta, not a sadhaka who has started practicing devotional service. So there are these two types of devotees as Ashray Alamban, because Ashray is one whom Krishna is attracted to. Krishna is attracted to only a Bhava Bhakta. Krishna is attracted to even a beginner devotee because he has taken up to devotional service. But the exchange of rasa is happening only at the stage of Bhava. So it refers to a Bhava Bhakta. Now within the Ashray Alamban, there are two divisions. Anyone remembers them can raise their hand. Let us see how well all the devotees today who are present were there also yesterday. Which are the two types of devotees within the Ashray Alamban? Anyone knows? Raise their hands. Anyone? Yes, Priya Mataji.
Sadhaka and Siddha.
Okay, Sadhaka and Siddha. The Sadhaka is at which stage among the 9 stages of Bhakti?
Bhava stage.
And the Siddha is at which stage?
Prema stage.
Okay. So what is the example which Rup Goswami quotes for the Sadhaka?
Bilva Mangala Thakur.
Excellent. You have the notes with you, I think, in front of you.
Now, I remembered also when you had also defined it very clearly.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Excellent. Okay. Now, my question to all of you is, that is the Sadhaka and the Siddha. The Siddha is a Prema Bhakta. Within the Siddha, after defining the Siddha, who is a Siddha, The Siddha is a Prema Bhakta definition. Rupa Goswami says that there are among them two types. Who are the two types? Anyone knows? Let us see. Among the Siddhas, there are two types. Who are they? Okay. Govindat Prabhuji. Govindat Prabhuji, are you there with us? Pardon? Yeah, no, the audio is very poor. Tho- Oh, excellent. Those who are eternally perfect, the Nitya Siddha and Samprapti. Samprapti means they have attained Prapti. Siddha, perfection. They have attained perfection. Now, within those who are Samprapta, there are again two subdivisions in the Samprapta. Those have attained perfection, those are eternally perfect. Samprapta has uh, two, two, again two subdivisions. Which are those? Yes, Priya Mataji.
Sadhana and Kripa.
Yes, the sadhana siddha and the kripa siddha. What is the example of sadhana siddha?
So those through sadhana they attain perfection. You
Yeah,
had given
what
example
is
of
the example Rupa Goswami gives?
Markandeya Rishi example.
And for the kripa siddha,
Kripa Siddha meaning with the mercy of the Lord they attain Siddha perfection.
perfection directly without undergoing any sadhana.
Yeah. So that you had given example of Yagna Patnis in so much detail and Bali
Yeah,
Maharaj.
correct. Exactly. You're true. It's the Yajna Patnis, Bali Maharaj, and Sukdev. Yes. So we have revised, up till now what we have discussed. So now we will go to the further discussion. We had stopped at, um, the Siddha. The Siddha. Mhm. Atra Nitya Siddha. We have discussed the Sadhana Siddha and the Kripa Siddha yesterday and the examples. So now today, in our discussion, we'll further complete this part today. We will go to the Siddha. Uh, Siddha. Yes, Ata Nitya Siddha. Okay, I'll share the screen. So again, okay, let me share the entire chart. That makes it more clear. Yes, here. So there is the Ashray Alamban, the reservoir of Rati, the devotee, sadhaka, he is Bhava Bhakta or Prema Bhakta. The Bhava Bhakta belong to her. Within the Siddha who has attained Prema Bhakti, there are the Nitya Siddha and the Samprapti. Then Rupa Goswami goes on to define the two, you know, two types in the Samprapti, the Sadhana Siddha and the Kripa Siddha. And then he gives the examples. So now we are going into Nitya Siddha. So this will complete the whole discussion of Ashray. The last part in Vibhav is Udipan, which will take few classes. I think it should take around 6 classes to finish Udipan. Udipan is very, very important for us as devotees, and we will take and try to finish that in 6 classes. So let's now go to Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha is in 290. Yes, Ata Nitya Siddha. आत्मकोटि गुणां कृष्णे प्रेमानां परमं गताः नित्यानंद गुणा सर्वे nitya siddha mukundavad. So this is the definition of nitya siddha. Those whose very body and qualities are bliss. Nityananda guna sarve. Their very body and qualities are bliss. That means they have Sachidan Madi. Like Mukunda, Mukundavat. and who possess the highest prema. Premanam paramam gata. They possess the highest prema. For whom? For Krishna. Krishna, which is 10 million times greater than the attachment for the self. Atma Koti Gunam are called eternally perfect. So these are the Nitya Siddha. This is the definition of the Nitya Siddha. Jiva Goswami. Those who have qualities which are eternal, whose very form is bliss, Nityanand Guna, like Mukundas, are called Nitya Siddha. Mention of qualities here also represents bodies. Next, their chief quality is mentioned. They have prema, which is 10 billion times greater, Koti Gunam, than the prema for the self. In the compound Atma Koti Gunam, a word in the middle, prema, is missing. Atma Koti Gunam Prema. They have prema for the Lord. Prabhupada. Now Prabhupada begins the chapter 25, devotees of Krishna. I think no, it's still the discussion on chapter 25 only going on. 1 minute, let me see. Yeah, 25. Yeah, in 25 only there is a Nitya Siddha coming here. Yes, yes, it's still 25 only. Yeah, yesterday also we were discussing 25 only, chapter 25. Okay. Persons who have achieved eternal, blissful life exactly on the level of Sri Krishna and who are able to attract Lord Krishna by their transcendental loving service are called eternally perfect. The technical name is Nitya Siddha. There are two classes of living entities, namely Nitya Siddha and Nitya Baddha. The distinction is that Nitya Siddhas are eternally Krishna conscious without any forgetfulness, whereas the Nitya Baddhas are eternally conditioned souls are forgetful of their relationship with Krishna. Prabhupada adds in something more in detail because this is more important that we have to understand that we are Nitya Baddha. We are forgetful of our relation with Krishna. We are not always conscious about Krishna, whereas the Nitya Siddhas are eternally conscious about Krishna. Now he gives the scriptural proof. Yatha Padme Shri Bhagavad Satyamama Devi Samvade. The Lord and Satyamama. Ata Brahmadidevanam Tata Pratanaya Bhuva Agatoham Gana Sarve Jatastepi Maya Saha Ete Yadava Sarve Madgana Eva Bhamini Sarvada Matpriya Devi Mattulya Gunashalina. An example for the discussion from the discussion between Satyabhama and the Lord from the Padma Puran. Padme Shri Bhagavad Satyamama Devi Samvade. O beautiful Satyabhama, Bhamini, I have come, Agato Aham, because of the prayers of Brahma and the Devatas, Ata Brahmadi Devana, and my associates have all taken birth. Gana Sarve Jatas Te Api, with me, Mayasa, O goddess, Devi, the Yadavas that you see, Etehi Yadava Sarve, are all my associates, Mad Gana Eva, and are full of all qualities like me. Mat Tulya Guna Shalina. They always hold me alone as dear. Sarvada Mat Priya, like Atma Koti Gunam. So this is the reference. They hold very dear the Lord than themselves. Okay, Jiva Goswami's commentary. Mat Priya means that they always hold me alone as dear and not themselves. That's it. It's a one-line commentary. Then the next reference, the next spiritual proof of the Nityasiddhas. Tata cha Sri Dashame in the 10th canto. This is a very famous verse. Aho bhagyam, Nanda Gopa Vrajokasam, Yanmitram Paramanandam, Purnam Brahma Sanatanam. Another example from the 10th canto. Tata cha Sri Dashami. How greatly fortunate Aho Bhagyam are Nanda Maharaj, Nanda, the cowherd man, Gopa, and all the other inhabitants of Rajabhumi. Vrajokasam. There is no limit to their good fortune. Aho Bhagyam. Because the absolute truth, Purnam, the source of transcendental bliss, Paramanandam, the eternal supreme Brahman, Brahma Sanatanam, has become their friend, Yan Mitram. Now, there is a very nice commentary by Jiva Goswami on this. Let us see his commentary. The repetition of Aho Bhagyam expresses wonder. Aho, Aho, it's wonder. It is therefore not redundant because Aho Bhagyam, twice it has come. It's not redundant, it is expressing wonder. Or else it expresses the daily appearance of good fortune for the inhabitants of Raja. Every day, the Bhagya of the Brajvasis, because they play with Krishna. Yad can mean that, because, or whose. It is good fortune that the Supreme Brahman is their friend, or it is good fortune because the Supreme Brahman is their friend. So that Yad can mean that the Supreme Brahman is their friend, because the Supreme Brahman is their friend. So both it can be. Or it is a good fortune of the inhabitants of Raja, whose friend was the Supreme Brahman, Brajokasam. So that because whose. So this only one who knows Sanskrit grammar can relish the rasa in the meanings. In the English, oh, all the three sentences look same. What difference it is, we cannot figure it out. But those who know Sanskrit and those who know the grammar and the different flavors in that meanings can better relish this. The Brahman was their friend and the perfect full Brahman. The Brahman was their friend and the perfect full Brahman at that. What kind of Brahman can be full? Brahman was full because of being a form completely of full bliss. Brahman without form cannot be full. So he is full, Purnam, because he is a complete form of Paramanandam, complete bliss. So here Brahman is a person. The Supreme Brahman is a person, has been established by Jiva Swami. Brahman without form cannot be full. He is not Purna. Therefore, the statement implies that the beautiful form of Krishna by mentioning the fullness of bliss, Paramanandam. This is proven by the fact that even those persons expert in impersonal Brahmagyan later developed ecstatic bodily symptoms from experiencing the form of the Lord. So they attained higher bliss, Paramanandam, in relationship to the personal form of the Lord, although they were absorbed in Brahman bliss, Brahmananda. That is Sukadeva Goswami, the four Kumaras. Yeah, the example of four Kumaras is here. For instance, Tasya Nayanasya Padaravinda Kinjal Kamishra Tulasi Makaranda Vayu Antargata Swavivarena Chakartesham Sankshobhya Aksharjusham Api Chitta Tanvo. When the breeze carrying the aroma of the tulsi leaves, Mishra Tulsi Makaravinda Vayu, from the toes of the lotus feet, Padarvinda Kinjalka, of the personality of Godhead, Tasyaravinda Nayanasya, entered the nostrils of those sages. Antargata Swavivarena. So the nose is one of the Gyanindriyas where you need not put effort to taste the sense objects. Like the tongue, actually the object has to come in contact with the tongue. Whereas the smell automatically flows in the nose. Swavivarena. They experienced a change. Chakar tesham sankshobhyam. So their bliss in Brahman, they were completely absorbed in the bliss of Brahman. That broke. They came out of that because they experienced some higher bliss of, the aroma of tulsi leaves, both in the body and mind. Chitta tanvo, chitta in the tan, chitta is in the mind, and tanu means the body, even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman understanding. Akshar Yushamapi. So this Brahma, blissful Brahman cannot be without form. It has to be with form because it gives Paramanam, and this is being proved by the four Kumaras example. And further, what specific type of Brahman is this? Now Brahman is now Purnam, Paramanandam, means it is full of bliss, form of bliss and eternity. Now, further, what specific type of Brahman is this? It is the highest bliss, Paramanandam, and it is the highest bliss because of its type of bliss. The highest status of bliss comes from bliss with a form rather than without form, which is understood from the statement concerning Sanak and the other Kumaras just quoted. So it is not Brahmanandam, it is Paramanandam. Bliss coming from the form, not from the formless. Brahmananda, no. It is coming from the Sarup of the Lord. Therefore, both words, Purna, full, and highest bliss, Paraman, indicate the type of bliss which has a form. So this is a special higher bliss. Otherwise, what is the significance of describing Brahman with these two additional words? So there is a, Brahman, Purnam and Paramanandam. Why? What is the need for Sukdev Goswami to discuss? Having described Brahman with these two words, the word friend, Mitram, is described by the word eternal, Sanatanam. What type of friend is this Brahman? He is an eternal friend, a friend extending over all three phases of time in past, present, and future. So Krishna is the eternal friend. So because Brahman is already eternal, you need not tell that Brahman is eternal. But now that Sanatana is not qualifying Brahman, but it is qualifying Mitram. He's their eternal friends. And this proves that these are Nitya Siddhas. That's the point. The implication of Lord Brahma is that just as you, the Lord, are perfected in all three phases of time, so the people of Raja are also perfected in all phases of time. They are eternal associates. Since you are their eternal friend, how can anyone describe their good fortune? So they are the eternal associates. So two examples, two proofs, scriptural proofs for Nitya Siddhas. One is from the Padma Puran, Satyamama and the Lord Samvad. The second is from the Bhagavatam. Okay, Prabhupada on this. The position of the Nitya Siddhas is explained in the Padma Puran in the connection with the narration of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Satyabhama Devi. The Lord tells Satyabhama, my dear Satyabhama Devi, I have descended to this earthly planet by the request of Lord Brahma and other demigods. Those who are born into this family of Yadu are all my eternal associates. My dear wife, you should not consider that my associates are ever separated from me. They are my personal expansions, as such, you must know that they are almost as powerful as I am. Because of their transcendental qualities, they are very, very dear to me, as I am very, very dear to them. Anyone who becomes exhilarated by hearing the pastimes of Lord Krishna when he was present on this earth with his associates is to be understood as Nityasiddha, eternally perfect. Prabhupada gives now the second quotation. In the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 32, Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a session. How wonderful are the fortunate residents of Vrindavan, such as Nanda and the other cowherd men. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Brahman, has actually become their intimate friend. Okay. Any questions up till now? What we have discussed? Any questions, any clarifications? Okay, so let us go ahead. Now, there are two verses which clarify uh, the verse quoted. The second verse, that is the Bhagavatam verse quoted. Okay, no, this is the third scriptural proof. The third proof he is giving. Dustajas chanuragosmin sarvesham no prajokasam nandate tanaye asmasu tasyapi outpattika katam. 10th canto, 26th chapter, verse 13. Dear Nanda, how is it that we and all the other residents of Raja, Sarvesham no Brajogasam, cannot give up our constant affection, Dustajes cha anurago asmin, for your son Tetanaya. And how is it that Katam, he is spontaneously attracted to us? Asmasu tasyapi outpattikaha. That is spontaneous. Outpattika is natural or spontaneous attraction. Okay, now three quotations are given for the Nitisiddhas. One is from the Padma Puran, one is from the Bhagavatam, the second is also from the Bhagavatam. Of Lord Krishna became struck with wonder and went to Nand Maharaj and inquired from him, my dear Nand Maharaj, how is that we are so intensely attached to Krishna and Krishna is also so affectionately attached to us? Does it mean that he is the super soul of everyone? So that is what, this is after Govardhan Leela, the Brajbasi speaking to Nand Maharaj. Okay, now these two verses, 295 and 296, are clarifying the quotation given regarding the two verses from the Bhagavatam, not the Padma Puran. Sanatanam mitram iti tasyapi outpattika katam sneho smaso iti cheshtesam nitya prashtatvam agatam. One can understand that the inhabit sounds of Raja, Sneho, Asmaso, Iti, Cheshtatam, are eternal associates. Nitya Preshtatvam Agatam. By the words eternal friends. Sanatanam Mitram Iti in verse 293. This is, of course, not there in the verse here, but just in the bracket you have to understand. And how is it that he is so spontaneously attracted to us? Tasyapi outpatike katam in verse 294. So by these two words in the Ahobhagyam verse, Sanatanam Mitram, and in the next verse quoted of the Bhagavatam, Tasyapi Outpatika Katam, spontaneously attracted, we can understand that Lord Krishna's associates are Nitya Siddhas. That is the point being made in this verse of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay, let us see the commentary of both Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti. By the combination of words Sanatanam Mitram, it is understood that the people of Raja are eternal associates. Otherwise, the word Brahman. Because Brahman is always Sanatanam. It's only modifying Mitram. That's what I meant. The word Purnam completes the meaning of Brahman. Purna Brahma is Purna Brahma. So it completes the meaning of Brahman. So there is no need for modifying Brahman by Sanatan. Sanatanam is for Mitram. Though it is modifying Brahman, meaning eternal Brahman, this is qualified by the Lord's friendliness. That Purna Brahma, he is what? He is Mitram. Lord's friendliness, thus the meaning is the same. Now, an example is given to understand. A golden necklace, which is attractive, means that the necklace is attractive. Similarly, things related to his nature are eternal. So that is the necklace is a golden necklace. So there is attraction has to be there. The necklace has to be attractive. So similarly, there is the Supreme Brahman and there is attraction. He has eternal associates because and he is their friend also. So that is the point given by this example. This is understood in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:25:18 also. So 10:25:18 is which verse? Let us see. 10:25:18. Yeah, I think it is past of the Govardhan Leela also. Tasmat mat charanam goshtam mannatam mat parigraham gopayo swatma yogena soam me vrata ahita. I must therefore protect the cowherd community by my transcendental potency. For I am the shelter, I am their master, and They are my own family. After all, I have taken a vow to protect my devotees. So Vrajajana, they are his eternal associates. That is the point. So the same point is being also made in verse. Uh, that's what to say. It's the same thing can be understood in this verse also, as it is understood in Ahobhagyam, and Dusyajan. That both was. Those who are especially inquisitive can consult Krishna Sandarbha. Now, further about this, Jeev Goswami has written Sandarbhas, Krishna Sandarbha. You consult there, I say. Okay, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur commentary is quite brief, but again he makes the same point. Why is Krishna's natural aupatika attraction difficult to give up? Since his nature is eternal, it means his dear ones are also eternal. He is of eternal nature, so there is an eternal natural attraction between the Supreme Soul and the soul, and the soul and the Supreme Soul. In the first verse, Sanatanam modifies Mitram, since calling Brahman eternal is redundant. So I made this point. Being modified by Purnam accomplishes its description. Purna Brahma. I mentioned already this point. Vallava means the cowherds. So this will come in the next verse. So there is a next verse which further clarifies those two quotations. Itya atah katita nitya priya yadava vallava esham lokik kavachak cheshta lila muraripur iva. Thus, for this reason, Itya Ataha, the Yadavas known as cowherd people, Yadava Vallabha, the cowherd people, are said to be eternal associates of the Lord. Kateta Nityapriya, as with the Lord's action, Muraripur, their actions also appear worldly. Esham Lokik Kavach Cheshta, their actions appear worldly, though everything about them is purely spiritual. Leela, Eva, they are all completely spiritual. So these two quotations and these further two verses of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, where Rup Goswami clarifies those two quotations, establishes that they are all eternal associates. They are Nityasiddhas. Okay. Now he gives the next proof. Now, this proof is for this previous verse that they are all eternal associates and all of their actions are also not worldly, but they are all spiritual. He gives a quotation for this. Tata hi Padmuttara Khande. Also from the Uttara Khanda of the Padma Puran. Yata Saumitri Bharatau Yata Sankarshanadayah तथा तेनेव जायन्ते निजलोकाद्यदृच्छया पुनस्तैनेव गच्छन्ति तत्पदं शाश्वतं परं न कर्मबन्धनं जन्म वैष्णवानां च विद्यते. Just as Lakshmana, Bharat, Sankarshan take birth with the Lord, Yata Saumitri Bharato Yata Sankarshana, the Yadav cowherd men, people, descending from their spiritual planet by the Lord's will, Nija Lokad Yatrichaya, take birth with the appearance of Lord Krishna, Tata Teneva Jayante, and then return, Punas Teneva Gachanti, to his eternal Dham along with him, Tad Padam Shashvatam Param. The birth of these devotees, Vaishnavanam Janma, is not caused by bondage of bandhanam cha vidyate. So that proves that the Krishna's eternal associates come from his dham and go back to his dham, and they are not bound by karma. All their actions are spiritual. That's the point. Okay, let's go to now Jiva Goswami's commentary on this. The phrase appear with the Lord, so similarly the Yadav cowherd people should be supplied in Sanskrit to verse 297. So this is similar, the Yadavas also. Just like Lord Ram's Ram time, their eternal associates appear, Krishna's time. Yadricha here means from their own will rather than accidentally. Amar Kosha says, Yadricha Sveta. Yadricha means one's own will. Okay, now Prabhupada speaks about this. After all of the residents of Vrindavan and Dwarka, namely the cowherd men and the members of the Yadu family, are eternally perfect devotees of the Lord. As the Lord descends by his causeless mercy upon this planet, so in order to help in the pastimes of the Lord, these devotees also come here. They are not ordinary living entities or conditioned souls. They are ever liberated persons, associates of the personality of Godhead. And just as Lord Krishna behaves like an ordinary man when he descends to this planet, so the members of the Yadu dynasty and the residents of Vrindavan execute activities just like ordinary men. But they are not ordinary men. They are as liberated as Lord Krishna himself. Then Prabhupada quotes this Padma Puran, Uttarakhand section. It is written, just as Lord Ramchandra descends along with Lakshman, an expansion of Shankarshan, and Bharat, an expansion of Pradyumna, so the members of Yadu dynasty and the cowherd men of Vrindavan also descend with Lord Krishna in order to join in the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. When the Supreme Lord returns to his eternal abode, his associates return with him to their respective places. As such, these ever liberated Vaishnavas are not bound by the material laws of birth and death. Now, Prabhupada quotes something additional which is not in Rupa Goswami's verse or scriptural reference, but Prabhupada gives the scriptural reference from the Bhagavad Gita. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita by the Lord himself, his birth, deeds and activities are all transcendental. Which verse is Prabhupada quoting here? Anyone knows? Which verse is this? Gita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, we don't know, Prabhuji.
Oh, okay. Govinda Prabhuji. Which verse is he quoting, Prabhupada? Any idea, Govinda Prabhuji? No, the audio is not working. Priya Mataji.
जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम एवं ये वेत्ति तत्वता त्यक्त
Yes.
देहम पुनर्जन्म नेति नाम सनामेति स्वर्ज.
Yes. So this verse doesn't not only applies for the Lord, but for his pure devotees. Please remember that. It is applicable to the Nityasiddhas also. Similarly, now Prabhupada is saying the activity, birth, deeds, and activities of the associates of the Lord are also transcendental. See, Prabhupada is saying that. And it is an offense to consider oneself to be Krishna. So it is offensive to consider oneself to be Yashoda, Nanda, or any other associates of the Lord. Now, here is a very important point, and Prabhupada is making this point because there is sometimes the Sahajiya mentality of sometimes considering oneself as the Lord, or sometimes considering oneself as Lalita or Nanda Maharaj. This is not Raganuga sadhana. In Raganuga sadhana, you follow the eternal associates, in following their footsteps, but you don't consider yourself to be Nanda or Yashoda or Lalita or Vishaka. That is Mayavad. That is a great offense. So, and these personalities are very special personalities. They are the Lord's eternal associates, and they are, they don't come in the Jiva Tattva category only. The Jiva Tattvas are marginal potency of the Lord, and with their sadhana practice, they become endowed with the Samvit and the Ladini Shakti, and ultimately, when they go back to the spiritual world, they are, you can say, they are nourished by the spiritual Chitta Shakti of the Lord, but still they remain Jiva Tattva. But Yashoda and Nanda are not Jiva Tattvas. Please remember that. Okay. So here it is an offense to consider oneself as Nanda and Yashoda. We should always remember that they are transcendental. They are never conditioned souls. So any questions up till now you have? Yes, Virendra Yadav Prabhuji, you have a question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just one clarification.
Hmm.
So we can say that the devotees who are sadhana siddha and who gets perfection, then also they will not enter into the category of nitya siddha.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, yes. Those who are sadhakas who become siddhas, after becoming siddhas, they are not called as nitya siddhas, but when they go back to the spiritual world, then they are now the associates, eternal associates of the Lord. And then when they come along with the Lord, then the same rules apply for the nitya siddhas, for them also. So in the sense, the sadhana siddhas become siddhas, and then they can become, then when they go back to the spiritual world, they ultimately become nitya siddhas. Is it clear?
All right.
Okay. Okay, last two verses of this particular ashray. Okay. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur on this verse commentary, that is this Yo Prokta Panch. Okay, I did not discuss this. 2.1, 299. Ye Prokta Panch Panchashat Kramat Kamsaripur Guna Te Chane Chapi Siddeshu Siddhidattavado Mata. The first 55, Ye Prokta Panchashat Krama, the 55 qualities. Of the qualities, te, denoting Krishna, Kamsarir Guna, Kamsaripur Guna, Kamsa's enemy, that is Krishna. As well as the qualities such as Chane, the ability to give Yog Siddhis, Siddhi Dattvadayo Mata are also present in perfected devotees, Chapi Siddheshu. So now there are some additional points made about the Nitya Siddhas. First is there are 55 qualities. One is eternal also there, in the 55 qualities, as far as I remember. Okay, in the 55 qualities, let's go to that. It's quite a long way now. Where is the narration of that 55 qualities? Here. Always situated in their eternal form, in his eternal form. So they are in having fresh with body. So these panchaguna is present in Shiva and others when their Lord's expansion will be listed. So these are, so they become, as I mentioned to you, they become the sadhana siddhas, become nitya siddhas. So 55 qualities. So the point here is about that 55 qualities. So the nitya siddha have 55 qualities. Where are we? Yeah. Yes, yeah. All the 55 qualities of the Lord, and also qualities not mentioned in relation to the Lord, such as ability to give anima siddhi, are present in perfected devotees. So in the Nitya Siddha, these 55 qualities are present, and some of the siddhis, like the Lord has these siddhis, they also have. Though these are not suitable for rasa, they are mentioned to show the superior nature of bhakti. Actually, these siddhis are not suitable for exchanging rasa with Krishna, but yet he has mentioned here to show their superior nature of bhakti, of this. Now the last verse here. Bhaktastu kirtita shantas tata dhasya sutadaya sakyoho guru vargas te preyasas cheti panchada. There are 5 types of devotees of Krishna. Bhaktastu panchada. Those in Shantas tata, the servants and sons, Das Sutadaya, the friends, Sakyoho, the elders, Guru Vargas, and the lovers, Cha Preshayas Cheti. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur gives just a short commentary. The devotees are of different types according to their bhava. Based on the bhava, Shantarati, Dasyarati, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. There are 2 types of servants, those with the feeling of servitude and those who directly take up the role of servant. Okay, in Dasya also there is some fine shades. The second type takes up the position of Alamban. The second type, that is this role of servant, who directly take the role of servant. Now this will become more clear when we go to the northern wave, Dasyaras. Then the finer intricacies you will be able to understand it. However, giving the siddhis does not indicate any excellence when mentioned in relation to the Lord, since such an act is not astonishing for him. They can give siddhis. Thus, it is not mentioned as a quality of the Lord. Now, Prabhupada, further he speaks about this. It is described that Krishna, enemy of Kamsa, Kamsaripur, has 64 transcendental qualities. And all the ever liberated souls who accompany the Lord have the first 55 of the qualities without any doubt. Such devotees are related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in 5 transcendental laws: Dasya, Shant, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. That's what Prabhupada also says. These relationships with the Lord are eternal, and therefore Nityasiddha devotee, and therefore Nityasiddha do not have to strive to attain the perfectional stage by executing regulative devotional principles. They are eternally qualified to serve Krishna. So now we come to the last part of Vibhava, that is Uddipan. So up till now, in the third wave, we'll now cover the Uddipan, which it is creates the Vibhav for attraction towards Krishna. So these are Uddipans, Krishna's qualities, the body, and within the body, the age, Kaumara, Pauganda, Kaishorya. So the Kaumar age will, the child body will be an Uddipan for the Vatsalya ras. The Kaishorya will be for Madhurya ras. The beauty, the form, the softness, the verbal, the mental, and then Krishna's actions become Uddipan. Krishna's clothing become Uddipan. Krishna's accessories, his hairstyle, his garland, his tilak, tambula, the lotus, Krishna's ornaments, smile, fragrance, flute, horn, anklets. So his anklets become Uddipan for the Vatsalya ras. Krishna's flute becomes the Uddipan for Madhurya ras. So like that, so what are the Uddipans for all these 5 rasas? In general, now Uddipan will be discussed, and this is a very, very important topic. So this we will start in the next week. So we have now completed the components of rasa beginning with Vibhav. We have discussed the causes of rasa. For the rasa to happen, there has to be the Stahi Bhav along with the Samagri Bhav, which gives rise to rasa. And there is Vibhav, Anubhav, Satviki Bhav, Sanchari Bhav. We saw the definition of Vibhav. We saw the definition of Alamban, the Vishaya Alamban and the Ashaya Alamban. Within the Vishaya Alamban, there is Anyarup, there is Swarup, there is Avrit and Prakat. And in the Ashaya Alamban, there is the Sadhaka and the Siddha. The Bhava Bhaktas, Bilva Mangal Thakur, the Siddhas. Within the Siddha, there is a Nitya Siddha and Samprapti. Those have attained perfection. And within the Samprapti, there is a Sadhana Siddha, there is a Kripa Siddha. So there is the Markand Rishi and the Yagik Patnis who are Kripa Siddha. So this we have covered now completely. Now only remains is Udipan, that which stimulates Rati, Krishna's qualities, activities, clothes, ornaments, smile. So all this we will go into it in the next class. Any questions, any clarifications anyone has? Yes, Priya Mataji.
Prabhuji, from sadhana bhakti to sadhya bhakti. So sadhana has bhava and prem, is it?
No,
That's what just
no.
want to
First of all,
refine my knowledge on that.
first of all, when Rupa Goswami uses sadhaka, the sadhaka means a bhava bhakta. Now, when you say, when you're using the term sadhaka, one who's practicing sadhana bhakti, then sadhana bhakti has these divisions, Vaidhi sadhana and Raganuga sadhana. And Vaidhi sadhana begins with Shraddha, means pure faith, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam, that. There is Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivritti, Nishta. That is Vaidhi sadhana. From Nishta till Asakti is Raganuga sadhana. So this is sadhana bhakti. Then there is bhava bhakti. So bhava bhakta is called as sadhaka here by Rupa Goswami, but he has clarified. He is a bhava bhakta. He is not a sadhaka who is practicing, at the stage of bhajan kriya or anarth nivritti. So that we have to understand that. So the terms are used based on context, and we have to use, in that context only, and don't get confused. Okay? Chakraram Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dhamma Pranam Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, verse number 300
Yeah.
of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Yes.
I'm not able to understand or relate it properly. The qualities.
Bhaktas tu kirtita shanta sata das. The bhaktas, Krishna bhaktas are of, they can be situated in 5 rasas. Shant ras, dhasya ras, vatsalya ras, sakya ras, vatsalya ras, and madhurya ras.
Okay.
What's the difficulty?
This is leading to Nitya. This we are relating to Nitya Siddhas.
It applies to all, whether it is a Nitya Siddha or Sadhaka Siddha. The Sadhaka also who has attained Siddhi might be in Dasya Ras or in Vatsalya Ras, and the Nitya Siddhas also are in different rasas. So this is leading to, the next division, which is, the northern division, that there are 5 rasas, because the rasas, first now we are understanding the components of rasas. Vibhava is there, Anubhav is there, Satviki Bhav is there, Sanchari Bhav, which we are studying in the southern division. Now, when they combine together, they give rasa. So, what all rasas they can give? They can give Shantras, they can give Vatsalya ras, they can give Madhurya ras. So, the Madhurya ras, the Kaishore form is the Vishaya Alamban. The Ashraya Alamban is the Gopis. You cannot have Madhurya ras with the Gopas. And Krishna's flute will act as a Udipan. So the components of rasa are discussed, but ultimately these bhaktas can be in Shant, Dasya, Vatsalya or Madhurya. That is the point what Rupa Goswami is making. Yes, very good question, and thank you for bringing up that. I hope it is clear. You could understand now.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Birendra Yadav Prabhuji, you had a question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, the last was 2 and 300 Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. That, 2 types of servants. So here it is mentioned that first category is those who are filling up with a feeling of servitude. and the other who directly take up the role of servant. So this devotees with a feeling of servitude, is it indicating those devotees who are serving those devotees who are taking direct service to Krishna? It is that way? I mean,
Well,
service.
frankly speaking, I don't know. And I don't want to comment about it until we come to, the Dasarati. The Dasarati, things will become more clear. So we'll have to wait till we come to the northern division. Not the northern, the western division, where each of these, in western division, there are 5 waves, and there is Shant Ras, there is Dasya Ras, which will be discussed. So there it will become clear what exactly this means. So I am also not so clear. There is a feeling of servitude, and those who are actually acting like servants. So what exactly it means, I'm not really sure, frankly speaking. Is it okay?
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So fine, then we will stop here. So the next maybe 2 weeks, we will be finishing the Southern Division first wave, which is like a great Herculean task we have finished. We have practically, I feel finished the 50% of the syllabus of the Southern Division. The remaining 4 waves is like another 50% syllabus, which we will slowly cover one after another. Yes, Priya Mataji.
Prabhuji, now when we read NOD second time, we can relate it more, na? Now first time I heard Southern.
Second time Eastern Division you're feeling or Southern Division?
No, right now we are doing.
Southern, we are doing Southern.
Yeah. So this I'm hearing for the first time, but Nectar of Devotion I've just read once. So I'm saying now after hearing this Southern Division, the Nectar of Devotion, if I read second time, I can relate it better. Is it?
Yes, you should be. I've been mentioning that when we started the seminar that one should read every year the Eastern Division, Prabhupada's summary study, and even now the translations of the original verses and Jiva Goswami's commentaries. The more we understand the Eastern Division and get solidly grounded, then the more better we'll understand the Southern Division. Yes, we should repeatedly revise this. Yes. Okay, so thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu ki jai. Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai. Hare Krishna.